There she is. Let's get your meds. Yeah. Chanel was rescued from the auction in early December along with several other horses. As we tried to approach her and stuff, she would never run away from us, but she would not let us touch her. When it came to vet day, we did get her into the chute, got a halter on her. We figured we could take her out of the chute, no problem. That, you know, once the halter was on, was she going to be okay then? But she wasn't. She proved that she was not halter broke. She would pull back. So we knew we had some work to do with her, but after vets, it was just, you know, leave her be in quarantine and just adjust to being a horse again. Once quarantine was up for that group of auction horses, we had noticed one had come in, Nike. He had a pretty bad case of ringworm. He did ultimately end up spreading that to a few of the other horses, Chanel being one of them. So as we were bringing them out of quarantine, we decided to move the horses that were still being affected and being treated for the ringworm to a separate pen than the other ones. The one day we noticed her laying down quite a bit, which isn't overly unusual. She wasn't rolling or acting like she was in distress at all. So we were just keeping an eye on her. The next day, however, she was laying down a lot again. And the difference there was that day was really, really cold, which again isn't overly unusual, but with 2 days of that and it getting colder, we decided we had to bring her in and see if something was going on with her. That was not going to be an easy feat considering we could not catch her and she did not lead. So we had to get a bit creative.
Watch yourself when she comes around, Marissa. Back legs have been flying.
Ah.
We started picking up some sticks and some nearby brush piles just to have a longer extension of our arms. We didn't want to get too close. She wasn't overly willing to move, so we thought it would be better to keep some distance. We weren't poking at her, swinging them around, scaring her with them. Just needed some length so we could get her where we needed her to go. Past experience had shown that she wasn't afraid to kick. With the way she was acting, we assumed she was colicking, and we knew that if we could get her inside and get a halter on her, that we would be able to at least start getting some pain meds in her while we waited for the vet to come out and see what was really going on.
You're okay. Of course, I can't feel my fingers now. You're okay. You're okay. Good girl. All right. All right. You're okay. You're okay. Oh. Oh. Good girl. That's not so bad. I can barely hold myself on here. Ow. Frozen fingers. Good job, baby. Good job. Once we had her in the chute, we were able to get the halter back on her. She was covered with snow, and I wanted to try to get a cooler on her and help start drying some of that snow, melting some of the snow, getting it off of her while we were waiting for the vet to arrive. We gave her some probios to try to help with an upset stomach. Lots of times those will help really good with colic. And we were just waiting for the vet to get there. By the time Dr. Kristen arrived to take a look at her, a lot of the snow had already come off.
There, girl. Yeah, she is getting a little bit of a fever.
A little bit?
Yep, we're passing 101.5 now. Date you to look in your mouth. But you know what happens when horses have bad murmurs is they don't always do the best with sedation.
She checked her over. She noticed a pretty substantial heart murmur, and she also had a very high fever. We had also noticed that she had a pretty foul odor coming from her mouth, and we suspected she had a bad tooth or there was something going on inside that mouth. She gave her some Banamine to help with any pain and also some Exceed. She suspected with the fever that there was some sort of infection going on there.
Good morning, baby. I got your water here. It's very anxious for me to get your bucket. Oh. Let's see what happens. You want to give her some water? You drink right away? Oh, good girl. Still no poop that I see. Maybe some over there in the corner. I see a lot of quitting. Yeah, you got something wrong in your mouth. We're gonna have to get that looked at ASAP. So we are back in the barn here with Chanel. It's the next morning. She ate a good amount of her food. You can see she was just drinking. She's definitely more alert. She's thawed out. But what I am seeing here, which is kind of what we suspected anyway, I don't know if you can see that. There's a lot of quitting in here of her food. And we kind of had a feeling with that foul smell in her mouth that she's got a bad tooth or something going on in there. So at least we had the initial pain and the infection getting under control. And now we gotta get those teeth looked at, hon. Yes, I'll get you more food.
Over the weekend, temperatures were going to be pretty decent, and she did manage to get all the snow off of her and the snow out of her feet, and she dried up and was good. But Monday was going to get very cold again, and we really wanted to get a blanket on her because she had lost quite a bit of weight. And I actually made a TikTok about it, and some people got pretty upset with us that we didn't have a blanket on her to begin with because she was so sick. And, because putting a blanket on an unhandled horse is, a really easy thing to do. But I digress. But first I have to get a lead rope on her. This horse is barely halter broke at best. You're okay. You're okay. So this is a process in itself. Just throwing a blanket on any random horse isn't always possible. And she also has a tendency to kick. So this isn't a simple process. Come here, baby. Hey. She just tried to bite me. And now I have to watch out for her head. Yeah. I'm not pulling belly straps under that belly. You're okay. Yeah. You're okay.
best I can do is get a blanket on her. I don't know. Maybe I'll be able to reach under and get the straps of the stick, but I'm not reaching my arm under this belly with that reaction. It's okay, honey. It's okay, honey. It's okay, baby. You're okay. Good girl. Good girl. It's okay. I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm not gonna hurt you. Shh. Good girl. You feel nice? You're okay. You're okay. I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm not gonna hurt you. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. This is not a waterproof blanket, but she is not going to be outside. I don't see the leg straps happening, but we'll see. Good girl. Good girl. Stay here, please. Good girl. You're doing good, honey. You're doing good. Does that feel nice? Can I reach under here? Good girl. It'll fit her if I can finish getting that on her. You're okay. You're doing so good. You're doing so good. Yep. Nope. We do know that she pulls back hard against pressure if she really wants to. You're okay. Good job. Good job. How do you feel about me on your other side? I haven't been over here yet. I'm gonna make a run for it. You're okay. Horses have two sides. I have never been on this side of her. So this is all new for her. And I do know she will freak out if she really wants to. How am I gonna get that over her butt? Oh, where's the stick? Can I push it maybe? You're okay. You're okay, baby. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're doing so good. You come this way. You can try the belly straps. I'm gonna walk towards the end now. I'm not going out the door. Get your water in there. I'm gonna try to grab a belly strap. She's standing on the other one.
Figures.
Can you move your this leg? Good girl. Good girl. Are you still standing on this one, I suppose? Yes, you are. Oh, I came loose. Oh! It would be amazing if these belly straps just were perfect. And they pretty much are. I don't know about those leg straps. Do I try? Oh, 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 oh. She's fine with me touching back there, but I don't particularly want to stand back there. Yeah, I'm not comfortable with that. I'm doing good. I wonder if I can remove them. Oh, they. Well, this is what we're gonna go with for tonight. See how she's doing in the morning.
Cindy and Nate managed to get the blanket on Chanel, but just being the two of them did not want to attempt to attach the leg straps. Once help was there, we were able to get the leg straps on. We did need to bring her from the quarantine barn up into the other barns so Jim could take a look at her teeth.
exciting. Door handle works. To get her blanket straps undone so we can listen to her heart. I tried to undo the blanket strap, but she tried to kick me.
First thing he needed to do was check for the heart murmur that Dr. Kristen had heard when she first came out to see Chanel. It hadn't been noticed prior, so she thought it might have just been from the infection that was going on. But Jim needed to take one more look because it is dangerous to sedate a horse that has a substantial heart murmur.
Ow! Hello.
That's what she thought it was, maybe because hey. You're okay. You're okay. There you go.
This will make you wonderful.
Hopefully.
Well, just, how about settle for better? You must have all kinds of pain going on. And this drug should help. Hey, drugs are working finally, huh? Yeah, see, it's not too bad today. Sarah, still there, but she said it's real loud.
Yeah.
Today, it's not too bad today. So the drugs must be working. She had her last one
Tuesday.
She should have one more.
Another one today or
Yeah,
tomorrow?
yep.
Today?
So it was 3 days, so it's Wednesday, Thursday, yeah, Friday, today,
Today.
Friday. Take a look at your teeth. Teeth out of there. Yeah, okay. God, those feel funky back there. Sure you want more loose teeth? God, you don't have two loose teeth, do you? God, you might. One for sure. By gosh, they are both loose. I'll be a son of a gun. This thing's wiggling both of them. Well, shoot. Okay, well, we got a two for day, okay. Yeah, I want to get either one of them. See how loose that was?
Oh, they both came out.
Did the other one come out too? I suppose they were tangled right up next to each other, huh? Well, look at, there's no roots there. See, there's no root structure. Look at all the fluid that was stuck underneath that too. That's why it stunk. But look, there's no gum tissue on there anywhere. Oh man, there isn't much to touch up there though. I don't think. See her upper teeth, so much she's worn them. And the first tooth on the top there, she's worn them all the way halfway out already. I've already floated them down though. You and your butter. I'm gonna do that upper one though. That upper one back there. See, that's pretty long. It's just, she's so drugged. Gotta pull this up ahead, but. That one little tooth, that little bit of tooth structure there, it bleeds.
Then after she got her teeth done and being inside, you know, to gain weight and stay out of the cold and the weather, she just started getting really friendly, almost looking for attention, started to come out of her shell a little bit and realize that we weren't here to hurt her. She was starting to feel better. She was making friends with other horses. And we were really hopeful that she had now turned a corner, and we were excited to get her back to weight and start working with her some more. So Envy came back from the University of Minnesota, and we needed to be able to change the packing and the medicine in her foot every 3 days. We lined up the first appointment to be when our draft farrier could be here with a stock so he could get all her other feet done. And it did not go well. And they had told us at the U of M when they changed it that last time before we brought her home that they had only mildly sedated her, and otherwise she was really good for what they did. but it did not go well. There was just no way we were going to be able to keep changing this without sedating her.
And formalin is the soul pain. I swear they gave us some of that iodine.
I know. I'm helping you. Ow!
Watch it, watch it.
That's not gonna be long enough.
There's no way we're gonna be able to do this without sedating her.
So we did that, but by the third time we changed the packing, it was clear that it was not looking well. It looked like the canker was growing back pretty fast and pretty furious. I sent a picture to her vet at the U of M, and she agreed that it was not looking good. She recommended doing dry packing instead of using the paste like we had originally been.
We are cleaning the feed room, and I'm going to ask everyone how they say that. You'll have a good laugh. Say that.
Bu Yang Huan Wu Tang. Bu Yang Huan Wu Tang. Bu Yang Huan Hua Ting. Bu Yang Huan Wu Tang.
Any more mice?
No, but we got multiple holes. Oh, there was one.
I don't know how many more are in there.
One came flying right past my feet, I know.
Did you find them all? Two.
Cool. Huh? So you have to horseback ride? You do it because it's fun, right?
I do for mental planning.
While we had Chanel in the stall, we were really able to start working with touching her legs, getting her comfortable with us, kind of touching her all over. We even got to the point where we were able to lead her around outside of the stall. This gave us a great opportunity to get her feet done. We did have to sedate her to do so, which gave us an even greater opportunity to then switch out the blanket that she had on and put on a waterproof one, so we could then get her outside and let her kind of be a horse again.
So over the next few weeks, we were having to sedate Envy to be able to change the packing in her foot. It was very obvious with how raw the tissue looked and how angry it looked that, you know, this was painful for her, for us to work on it. But we needed to keep applying the medications and changing the packaging in order to make her feel better and get ahead of this. Even with sedation, it wasn't an easy process. We tried resting it on a stool. We tried just holding it up. We tried it on a farrier stand. In the end, we ultimately learned that she was very easy for us to work with if she could just leave it rest on the ground on her toe. She would stand there and let us do whatever we needed to. We had to clean it out each time with saline solution and gauze, get all the icky stuff out of there. We would then freeze what we needed to. Then we would apply the iodine and formalin solution. That was a hardener to help that sole harden. And the heel bulb wasn't looking good. She developed thrush, and we had to keep this wrapped and clean that plate and pack it. And it was a lot of work to do.
Oh, my love, you're such a fragile thing, I know. And with the winter comes the ice, the snow, but I'm here to hold. And oh, my love, don't worry about the cold just yet. The trees haven't started to shed. Just feel the summer sun as it warms our bed. I'm lying, and I'm lying when I say afraid, but I'm trying to shelter you from pain. And oh my love, the seasons come and they go, but I hope you know that I won't.
Lackey was an owner surrender of kind of a different sort. He lived next door to actually a vet tech that works with Dr. Jim and her husband, who is an amazing farrier. And they were able to convince the owner to hand him over to them. He had been living at this place for at least 10 years by himself. He never had anyone with him. It was kind of a messy place. His feet were in dire need of attention. He was overweight, and they brought him here, and they were nice enough to give him his first trim right away.
Are you happy? It's like, attention. I am worthy. Sure, buddy. Says a spa day as soon as he walks in the door.
You're getting overloaded.
It's okay, we got food and water ready for you too.
Any white line or anything, or just stretched lamina?
A lot of stretch lamb.
When Jim came out to take a look at him, we knew his feet were an issue to begin with, and that is, of course, what we focused on at first.
Well, those front two got knocked backwards a little bit. They did. Middle two front teeth, see, they got knocked backwards just a little bit. I'd say he's probably early 20s.
Like 21, 22?
Yeah, somewhere in there. Holy crap. Wow, you really need a foot trim.
You already got one.
Really? I just want to see how much. Oh, easy way. That's pretty good. Huh.
You need that to balance.
Okay. He's pretty flexible there, isn't he? Not really arthritic at all, but you got some separation there on that white line. And it's really good up in the fronts, actually. On the front part of the lamina on the toe, isn't too bad. Well, this is the back leg, but see, that doesn't seem to hurt at all. Doesn't seem to mind that. You stretch it out. Oh, maybe not. I'd rather not. There we go. There, boy. Well, it might be just separation too. It doesn't have, with white line disease, they're usually painful. But see, he's not, no signs of arthritis in any of his legs. I think he really needs is just a good old trim. I mean, he probably took it back as much as he could the first time around. Let's see how, what I'm talking about with that separation along the wall. See how that's all, it's that way in all 4 feet too. And that's why I always worry about white line disease. But see, you just got all that dirt up in there and it's all that separation. And that's usually where you get white line disease.
Throttle joystick to the highest point and back. No, okay. We're gonna start over. Okay, so I'm turning it on.
Emergency stop! It's on the app! Why are you coming after me? Watch the power lines.
This way.
The barn! Marissa! Okay. Oh! Oh! Watch the power lines. Are you recording?
Crash landing.
At least when it lands, it turns off. After he was here a week or so, we started noticing that he just seemed really depressed. His appetite wasn't great. He just didn't seem quite like himself. We had Jim out again, and it turns out Blackie was pretty sick.
Take a listen to your lungs. Maybe go grab a thermometer and just see if you're on the fever. Oh, you got one? That's pretty good.
2.7, 2.8.
That's pretty high.
That's been low for a little while. So it's cold in my pocket. It stopped at 1.
Oh. Not too rough in there though at all. He's not too rough in there. But boy, 103, you look like you're running a fever. Huh. What you got over here? You got a big knob right here. It's all coming, discharge coming out this nostril. Should be coming out over here. You got a big swelling right here. What do your teeth look like up there? I wouldn't think that'd be hard enough to give you 104 temperature, but 103. That's a lot of fever there, fella. And you don't even have the discharge out this side. Kind of pale, isn't he? Ah, you would, wouldn't you? Anaplasmosis comes from ticks, makes them anemic, destroys their blood cells. They run a high fever, 103, 104. Because I thought it was his lungs, but his lungs are good. They're not that bad at all. He's not breathing fast or nothing.
You think maybe he had it and just with the moving stuff, that's kind of made it flare up?
They can have it for a long time sometimes. Well, they did this article one time. The worst case of anaplasmosis I've ever seen was in January. That horse was yellow. He was so bad. He was losing so many blood cells. And guys running 103, 104 fever. So I'm treating him for anaplasmosis. We diagnosed it. It was anaplasmosis. We actually saw it in the blood cells. And treated him. And that bugger, it was, and then they wrote an article about a year later saying, boy, we can see anaplasmosis. Some of the worst cases are in the winter. Well, you wouldn't think the ticks would be around in the winter, especially here in Wisconsin. And they're thinking that it's more a chronic thing, that they're carrying it in their system. And then you switch them over to Doxy, or it can come back tomorrow and give him a second dose of IVs and then switch him on. But he's going to be on Doxy for about 2 weeks. Used to be we always gave him 4 days, but we discovered that we can do it. You bugger. Yeah, this is a big needle, fella, but this is thick stuff. You don't want to run it in too fast because you can knock them down too. You'll knock them down if you're running in too fast. It's such thick stuff. So this is really good stuff. And even if I'm wrong, it works on a lot of other conditions too. So the antibiotics pretty broad spectrum. Okay.
I don't know. It could be worse.
Yeah, yeah.
When I first started working with Chanel, she was very nervous. I worked with her in a catch pen after having to use grain to bring her down there because she wouldn't let me catch her. I just got her used to coming into the barn and everything. I worked with a stick to get her used to working with her feet, being touched. And she was super kicky at first, didn't want anything to do with me touching her legs or anything. It got to the point where one day I had her in the barn and I was able to pick up all 4 feet without any issues. And I remember that was a really exciting day. Grooming became not a problem, and then I finally felt comfortable with being able to start working with the saddle. We just started with the simple bareback pad and strapping it, and she wasn't cinchy or anything with that. And looking back at the first time I met Chanel, I wouldn't think she's the same horse from the day I met her. When I first met her, she actually kind of scared me. I was scared she was going to try to trample me or something. I wouldn't be scared of her now whatsoever.
Drum came to us as an owner surrender. His previous owner had bought him from a kill pen and paid to have them castrate him while he was there. Then went to a boarding facility, eventually got kicked out of the boarding facility due to his steady behavior.
Yeah, he's probably a crap. I don't see a testicle there. I don't know if he'll let us feel up in there. Kind of think I can feel the scars where he's got. Well, at least they took one out, maybe. Yeah, you could feel like there's some scarring back up in there. But I wouldn't. Might have. He's a crip. At 0.4, he's probably. There's got to be somebody in there who's producing some hormone. Look at his neck. He's getting a steady neck looking to him, and I just bet he's a crip. Shoot. Canine? Jeez. Canine? Yes. Canine and feline. Here we go. Stallion. Here we go. Go, wait a minute. What's this? You see, it's supposed to be Stallions even are supposed to be less than 1. See? 1 to 4. Oh, okay. Geldings should be under 2. He was 0.4. And he was 0.4. I thought I could feel a scar back in there, so I wonder if somebody didn't take one out anyway.
Jim did suspect that there was another testicle up there and that he was going to need crypt surgery. So a crypt orchid is basically a stallion whose one or testicles have not and will not descend. We thought Patrick was in the same boat as Drum, as he was 3 years old and that other testicle still had not dropped yet. So we figured let's load them both onto the trailer and do the surgeries at the same time. While crypt surgeries are routine, there can be many complications, such as them not being able to find it, or of course, you know, anything else as far as bleeding and stuff like that goes too.
So it had been weeks of changing Envy's wrap every 3 days. We had finally gotten to the point where we did not need to sedate her anymore, which was encouraging. It obviously wasn't hurting her. I thought it was looking really good, but you know, I'm not a vet. I'm certainly not a hoof expert. And I really, while we were staying in communication with her vet at the U of M, sending pictures and stuff, it's still, there's only so much you can tell from a picture. So I was really anxious to have an actual vet look at it. We timed another vet visit from Jim on the day we needed to change her wrap, and so we could have him take a look at it. I was very nervous about what he was going to say.
Huh?
Nothing seemed to hurt.
Well, it shouldn't.
But we thought it'd be better sedator so you can give it a look. And she just kept putting it down.
Nerve endings are all dead, so it doesn't hurt anymore.
I couldn't find any indication that anything was
You can wash that on it.
Yeah, actually, using it this time. Not having it.
Wow. Girl, how hard is that? Oh, that's nice and hard. Yeah, you got hoof growing there. It's all hard. The only place that's soft is right up here against the frog. This is all hard. This is hoof. See, that's all hoof.
It is hoof?
Yeah, that's all hard. Look at that. That's hard as a rock. But right in here, right along the frog, it's still soft in those, down the bottom of those things. But
That's where it's been like angriest looking, but it's not like red.
yeah, see, look at there. I can stick my finger right underneath the hoof right there. See, that spot hasn't firmed up yet.
It's gotten hard.
That's all hard. Yeah, that's hoof. That's great.
And then this we've been freezing because that's.
Oh, that thing. I forgot about
That's gotten a lot better though.
That one soft spot, man, I can stick my whole finger right in that one spot.
So this gray slug stuff, any idea what it is? We kind of.
What's that now?
It's right here that it keeps
It's
coming out of.
stink.
Well, mostly just gunk building up in there. Got a little thrush in there. So go on ahead and, you know, a thrush buster or anything like that should work in there.
So we're doing that, and then someone had said you could just do the iodine too.
Iodine will work, strong iodine or bleach.
So I should maybe really pack that stuff in here.
Yeah, and that one little hole there. Did you see that where I put my finger in there? I can just stick my finger right in here. See, this spot isn't firming up yet.
Okay.
So that's what you want some formalin for that. You want that to dry, harden up. You want that to grow up there. The rest of that's hoof though. So that's great.
I was so happy to hear you say that.
Yeah.
I was so afraid you were gonna look there and go, that foot's dead.
No, that's hoof.
It's hoof?
Yeah, it's growing. See, it grows so uneven at first. Eventually it'll smooth out and be, you know, like a normal sole. But right now it's irregular how it's growing. Some parts are growing faster than others. So that's where you get that bubbly appearance. I've seen that on horses where we took the hoof wall off on some of those, what do they call it now? Resections, where you take off the hoof wall. I've seen them, and that's how they grow. They're just like this. It's all bubbly and uneven. I've actually had the farriers sometimes they'll just take a rasp and just smooth it up. Well, it's hoof. It's hoof. So it, you know, it won't bother because it doesn't hurt. Even that spot where there's a hole there yet, that didn't hurt.
Yeah, and
I
even when
stuck
she
my
wasn't
finger in.
sedated, I was pushing in there. And,
Yeah, it doesn't hurt.
okay, so really keep an eye on that spot
But right back up in there, you're dealing with thrush.
back here.
Yeah, and that's just all the water and fluid there and stuff. This up here even acts like it's finally straightening out. Yeah,
Yep.
that's getting back to.
That was pretty bad a week or two ago.
Yeah, that's getting back to normal. Gosh, I would think you wouldn't have to tranquilize her anymore. Well, that stuff's pretty much.
I think most of it is just draft horse not wanting to hold her foot up.
Yeah, like she just kept going, I want to stand on my foot.
No, sure.
So let her stand on it and then we'll pick it back up.
Yeah.
But
that's okay. I mean, it's going good, I think.
awesome.
It's going real well. That thrush spot and that little spot right up at the tip of the frog. Once those two spots get going.
It was amazing to hear Jim say that he thought our hard work was actually going to pay off. He had been skeptical from the beginning, especially after his conversation with Dr. Turner. Even after the surgery, he remained fairly skeptical because there is such a high chance that if you don't kill it all, even if there's just one little spot left, that it's going to recur. So it felt really good, and it was very encouraging. We obviously still have a long way to go with her, but things are looking up.
Another month means another auction. There are still horses out there that need to be saved. Lots of horses in the loose pen that are needing our help.
That's what I get you. I'll get you back with your friend in just a couple minutes. You ready to get out of here?